My loneliness was killing me until SeeSmiX came to my life and changed it all, changed it all. When I'm not with you guys, I lose my mind. Send me a post. Click me, baby, one more time.
Hi, I'm Giselle, and this is SeeSmiX, episode 45. The political conversation has begun here on SeeSmiX. So when Global Kev in London came on to ask the SeeSmiX community what they thought about the US election, it was a very interesting group of answers and questions, which I think you will agree provides a very interesting outside perspective on the US election, as well as a great opportunity to explain the process of the relatively complicated US election.
Hello, SeeSmiC. I'm Global Kev, but during the day I'm the blogs editor at The Guardian. I've seen people on SeeSmiC talking about the US elections, and I wondered if, for the New Hampshire primaries coming up tomorrow, if you wanted to have a little bit of conversation about it, and if you would be willing to have some of the videos embedded on Guardian blogs.
Man, you've got a job. You're allowed to SeeSmiC at work, and nobody thinks it's weird. No one's looking at you going, he's talking to his screen. That's why I read The Guardian. That's why I like The Guardian. Forward thinking. I think absolutely fantastic idea. Let's embed SeeSmiC within The Guardian blogs.
That's a wonderful idea. Very exciting use of SeeSmiC.
I think it's a great idea, and it's a really good use of SeeSmiC as well. My interest has been so far in watching all of my kind of more switched on, technically literate, internet-y friends, especially on the East Coast, more back Obama, ahead of the polls, ahead of the caucuses. They just really took to him, but I still just thought, probably influenced by my reading of media, American and British, that Hillary was just, you know, it was a walkthrough for her, and Obama was hoarse and tired and was kind of already losing. Well, that didn't prove right, did it? So that was really cool. This kind of media actually taking part in the news and, you know, preceding it, actually.
Change is coming. The question is, can Obama stick in? Does he have the money? Will Clinton bow out and let Obama be the different candidate, the one who's not the white governor from Tennessee or whatever? And, you know, will we start to see a new face for American politics? Just because we're over here responding from the UK doesn't mean that we shouldn't really have a say. US politics dictates how the West behaves, and looking at the global economy, looking at the subprime market, the recessions and everything else, it's going to be a big deal for all of us, not just America. It's time for us to care too, even though we can't vote.
I'm not necessarily positive I'd have anything more to say other than Obama rules, but it's an absolutely brilliant idea, and I look forward to seeing the results.
Despite how much we talk about it, I really don't feel like I'm that well informed. What is a caucus? And why does it take so long for you guys to elect a president? Why all of this kind of big circus and to-do around it? Anyway, great idea, and really glad that you're doing this.
Caucuses are a little bit more like the UK's party conferences, though they're done at a very small and local level.
So, right, okay, you have... No, I'm not even going to go there. Am I just like really dumb, or is this just like really complicated? I'm not quite sure.
The elections in the States are very complicated, and you have to remember it's an absolutely massive country. And at this stage, the caucuses and the primaries are basically about proportional representation based on party lines.
I really do appreciate the sort of clarifications, really, because it's a very different system to the UK, and I think a lot of people in the UK really don't understand it and get very puzzled by what's going on. So thanks.
I find the American elections incredibly interesting, mainly because of the length. You need money to survive. An American, you know, you can't be, you know, a sort of straw man contender. You would never see someone like Lord Such, for example, take on board the American elections, Ross Perot notwithstanding.
We tend to run cheaper campaigns. We tend to be less public about it. I think the UK public are less involved with politics and less inclined to really understand who's running and why, and what the story is. But in the US, it's you know, it's a big part of everyone's life during the election cycle, and for good reason, because of course there's so many things to deal with, so many things to vote for, and so many people care about it because it's sort of defining their way forward. And of course, as a young republic, 200-year-old republic as they are, then, you know, clearly it's a big deal for them.
Iowa was so important because it was the first time that politicians actually heard from voters about their preferences. In New Hampshire, we have actual secret ballots being cast tomorrow. We move on after that to two what I'll call minor primaries in Michigan and in Nevada. Then we get into some bigger states, all of which takes us to Super Tuesday. Super Tuesday, 20-something primaries to be held with hundreds of delegates to be decided in big states. Delegates to what? Delegates to the conventions for the Republican and Democratic parties. We have two parties here in the main, in America. Those conventions take place in August, and they will determine who the nominees are for president, usually two. If Huckabee were to be in the lead, were to get the nomination, look for a possible third-party run by New York City Mayor Mike Bloomberg. And if that were to take place, imagine this. Barack Obama, African-American. Mike Huckabee, evangelical former Baptist minister. And Mike Bloomberg, Jewish New York billionaire mayor of the city. Would that be an amazing presidential race or what?
So I think it's obvious that this is just the beginning of a fantastic conversation that may last as long as the US elections last, which is kind of a long time. If you want to check out Global Kev's Guardian blog, you can at this address. And I'll leave you with some tunes before you go. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.
Walk in the park and it's getting dark and I don't wanna be alone. Miss my mommy and I miss my daddy, won't you please bring them back home?
The sun is out, the sky is nearly blue. There's no one here except me and you and you and you. So I'm leaving, la 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 la.